Good evening, it's Brian, the Fitzpatrick's Garage, Dublin Road, Kildare. My hair's all over the place because it's windy, I don't know, whatever it's going. Anyway, look what I have here. 1.5 GT Honda Civic VTEC Turbo, happy days, 182 horsepower car. This is one of the nicest cars I've ever seen in a car showroom. This is such a cool car. Black is a deadly colour for it, but to be perfectly honest, they look brilliant in every colour anyway. Let's have a look around the car. Just in case you're wondering who we are, Fitzpatrick's Garage, Kildare Town. We are main Honda agents. So, just down here, there's a Maxwell station, and over there we have a Honda garage, and over here we have a Hyundai garage, and then further up the road that way there's a Mercedes garage as well, and then the garage is in operation for almost 70 years, and there is garages in Carlow and Naas and Tullamore as well. So the reason I'm saying that to you is, if you spend a lot of your hard-earned money at a garage like this, there will be a brilliant after-sales service, because obviously we want you to come back again. So anyway, you don't care about that for the moment. The only thing you want to see is this really damn cool car. So let's have a look around. So, to be perfectly honest, I think I could just leave the camera sitting there like that for the next 10 minutes, and I think that's good enough. The car is stupidly aggressive looking. It's really damn cool. There's people that I'm ringing back who have collected these cars in various colours, and they're saying people are walking up to them in petrol stations as they put petrol in cars. They're not used to this kind of, I suppose, admiration from people of the actual car itself. So people are walking up going, what is that? And I suppose, okay, if you're familiar with the car already, you'll already know, but for somebody that's never seen one of these before, not familiar with the car being launched, if you look at that car there, it is damn aggressive looking. It is stupidly cool looking. Okay, so the first thing on the outside, 1.5 GT, 17-inch black alloy wheels. As a 1.5 model, you get a really cool extension on your normal bumper. Then we have the diffuser, which comes up along here to house these two exhausts, and yes, there is a nice little hum off them, so there is when you rev the car, but the good thing about it is it's not too loud. That's one of the things I like about this car. It's really subtle. Skirt continues all the way around the rear bumper onto down the side. So on a black car, it's really well coordinated. On a non-black car, this section here will be black, as this section will be along over here as well, but it actually looks really cool. Coming around to the front, little extension on the front bumper as well, so it just makes it really aggressive looking. And then one of the other really cool things on these cars is the headlights are LED. So we've got daytime running all the way down through here, 1, 2, 3 LEDs in through here, and then the full lights and the indicators are also LED. So if we look along here, you've got a massive set of LEDs now coming down. The headlights on this car, we have a demonstrator, not the GT, but it's the S design, which is the same 1.5 setup with the nice headlamps. I've driven that car for about 1,500 kilometers. The headlights are one of the best headlight structures I've ever come across, the way it shines on country roads and stuff like that. Even the front fog lights have an LED style setup as well. So it looks really cool, but it's really functional. The other thing is, I love the big long indicators. It gives a nice executive kind of European style look to the front of the car. So when you see a 1.5 coming towards you with the big long indicators, it looks damn aggressive, and you know then, yes, that is a 1.5. I really like the side markers. They're actually standard on all the cars, but I think it looks really well. The privacy glass, as you see, which is standard, and what I like about the 1.5 models as well is this is black all the way around. On a 1 litre, you've got a chrome section down along through there, which is quite nice, but because you have the black sections down through here, it's all very complementary. And the other cool thing, because it's a GT, is it has a big sunroof on top, which again, on the black car, you wouldn't even notice. I just let it up there just so you could actually see it in the video. Round to the back of the car, it has this really nice spoiler, which also is functional and channels air down through here off the rear end of the car in the most aerodynamic fashion possible, and this spoiler also allows air to travel through it as well, so it is functional overall. The tail lamps on these Honda Civics Generation 10, really nice LED that comes all the way down. If you were sitting behind this car, which actually I must admit, I was in a Honda Jazz up in Dublin there a couple of days ago, and I saw one of these cars coming through traffic. It was actually a 1 litre model, and I pulled over on purpose just so he could go past me so I could watch the profile of the car. It's really aggressive. It's really stunning. Don't take my word for it, just watch them going up and down the road. They're so distinctive. Looking at the back of the car, one thing I found was, it was night time, as he was driving away from me, this has a nice bright LED light in through here, but you can just see the outline of the two C's, and it's so unusual compared to anything else on the market. I suppose the thing about these cars is If you want something that's a bit different, but it's really, really cool as well, this is probably the car for you. I mean, there's tons of brilliant cars on the market, things like, you know, I suppose i30s we sell here, Volkswagen Golfs, Auruses, all that kind of stuff. And then you can go for the more hardcore GTI kind of stuff, which is going to be much more expensive to buy and much more expensive to run. This is a brilliant in-betweeny car. It's classy looking. It's actually really, really, and I mean this in every sense of the word without trying to use a pun, it is a head turner. People do, you drive this car, you can watch the reactions, you can take our demo and drive it. People do turn around and look at the car. It's unusual. I haven't seen that in a car in a long time. But the nice thing about it is, at the price point for the specification you're getting and the performance, I actually think there's nothing in Ireland on the market that comes anywhere near this car at the moment. At the heart of this car there is a 1.5, yes, VTEC turbo. It is 182 horsepower, but in fairness, this car is €280 a year for road tax and realistic fuel consumption. And I can say this from first hand, you've heard this from kind of directly from someone that's actually driven this car. As you're saying, we've got a demo that's done 1,500 kilometres. We did 1,500 kilometres in normal driving, down around the south of Ireland, Cork, Kerry, all that kind of stuff. That car, all day long, 6 litres per 100 kilometres, and I was going up and down and over mountains. I drove it on. I drove it exactly how you'd expect, so that's somewhere in the region of 47 miles per gallon. For 182 horsepower, that is damn good as far as I'm concerned, so it is. And as we've said already, there's a nice little grunty sound. It's not too loud, it's nice and subtle, but if you rev the car, it makes a very nice induction sound. And there's little turbo sounds as you drive along that you'll hear as well, between gears and stuff. Not too loud, but just nice, that it's kind of enjoyable. Anyway, in terms of acceleration overall, this car is really, really good. Unusually for a Honda, there's some torque in it, so low down from maybe 1500, 2000 RPM. There's some get up and go, which is unusual on the traditional Honda petrol engines. Obviously it's turbocharged, so it's got that. But once you get up high into the engine revolutions, 5.5, 6,000 RPM, there's another band of power that comes along, so it's really, really nice. To give you a better idea, I'm just going to jump into our demo, which is the exact same engine and gearbox as this GT, and we'll just do a quick acceleration and run to see what you think of it yourself. But before we do, I'm just going to sit here and look at it. I love the front end of that car. I love every end of that car. I love the indicators, I love the LED headlamps, I love the way it all comes together. If you don't like it, there's something wrong with you. So the clock's inside. I'll go through them a bit better in a sec, but just say, for example, if we're running in this mode which has a turbine setup along here, clock is all digital, turbine meter will move as soon as we start accelerating. I'm just going to wait for a little gap here so we can get out onto the road and just drive it up from second onwards. We're not going to go from first, we're going to go from second. So second gear, let's say from 30 kilometers an hour onwards, I'm just going to put it up to 30 kilometers an hour, 22, 23, 24. So what I'm going to do then is floor the car now. So you can watch the turbo meter, look at that go. Let's face it, that was fun. Let's do it again. So at 30 kilometers an hour, 30 now, I'm going to floor the car now. Okay, so there's a few people wondering about first gear, so let's do it from first. Here we go. So as you see from our demonstrator model, the car has got loads and loads of power. But the nice thing about it is it's subtle in the way that it's delivered. It's quick, but it doesn't make loads of noise. You can be a grown-up and actually have a nice fast car still without making a massive impression. That's the cool thing about this, it's subtle. So anyway, let's look at some more practical stuff on the car. If we move around to the back of the car, it's got a really big boot. So if we look at the boot, right, there is no spare wheel. Yes, let's get that out of the way. It doesn't have a spare wheel, but you can buy one and they're not expensive in fairness for what you get. After that then, I'm just going to take this out of the way. Really noisy bus. So back in through here, the boot's very big. I've actually used this car with somebody that has a million suitcases on the go at one time. So if we look along through there, some people have said, oh, you know, that looks a little bit flimsy. No, the whole thing here is you can have real awkward stuff up through there and still have a cover, and then up here there's still a cover, so when you close down the boot nobody can see in, so it actually allows a greater degree of flexibility and access in that general area there. So believe me, it actually does make sense. 2 handles over here just for letting that down in through the rear. Room is actually bigger than the last Civic. Electrics for windows over here, child locks down through here. 3 3-point safety belts, 3 head restraints, armrest up through the centre over here. And then kangaroo pocket here, kangaroo pocket over there. And yes, there is more legroom and there is more headroom than the previous model. So if you're familiar with the previous model, that'll make a nice improvement. In general, I have yet to have someone come and look at this car that has not had a Honda Civic and complain about the room in the back. So I don't think that'll be a problem. And we actually have had people trade out of SUVs and more family style cars where they want something that's got a mix of fun but it's still big enough to take the kids around and family at the weekend as well. So this car has a nice combination of both if you are one of those people. Aluminium pedals in through here, start stop button in through here. Actually, while we're there, okay, so with the car it's got keyless entry. So the first thing is, after that, let's turn on the headlamps. Okay, so using the key like you would in a normal car, you can lock it, which you would normally expect to do in a car. That's going to take about 30 seconds. What will happen is if you walked away, the headlights would stay on, and then after about maybe 20 or 30 seconds, I can't remember, these headlamps will turn off automatically. So that means you can walk up to your door and you can see what you're doing. Fine, headlamps are off. If I walk back out to the car and unlock it, headlights come back on. So that's the automated function. Look at the other cool thing. Watch the windows and the sunroof actually, because this is a GT. So windows and sunroof open. Similarly, if I'm walking away from the car and I want to make sure I've got everything locked up, I can lock the windows and the sunroof using the key, which is pretty cool. And then because it's keyless, now watch me make fun of myself here by it not working for me, I'm sure, but you should be able to walk up to the car, put your hand in, and it does. So, lock, fine. If you can hear it, I'll put my hand in. There you go, it's unlocked. I can open the door. And then to walk away, I just hit that button and that's it there. So the whole idea is that I am not using my hands. And then, because it's got a push button start, you can get into the car so you don't reef the hand off yourself by accident. Okay, so foot in the clutch down through here. Press the button. Goes red, which is pretty cool. And that's it, and away you go. After that, over here. Oh yeah, by the way, this is, I meant to show you that at the back actually. So because we're in GT, we get 11 speakers over the standard 8, which means that you have tweeters and speakers down in the back. More speakers up front with tweeters, and then one more speaker up here on the dash as well. So actually really excellent sound system all the way through. After that then, parking sensors front and rear in through here. So if we go for first, let the handbrake off. I'll go back to that handbrake in a sec. We can drive forward to this wall. Let's not hit anything. Okay, so it's telling me I got a problem here, and it's telling me I got a problem over here. Similarly, if I go for reverse, I get a nice big camera. I'm going to reverse up to this wee i10 behind us. I hope. Yeah, okay, looking good. All the way back. Fine. Okay, so it's telling us we got problems on the rear. We can change our camera to have a straight down function. We can have a normal mode, or we can have a panoramic mode as well. And this one has one other cool feature. Because it's a GT, when we go backwards, we get information from this side. So over here, cross monitoring. So if something's driving in this way or that way, we get an extra bit of information over here. Coupled with that, because we're in a GT, if I hit the start stop button, watch it over here. Lane 10. That's a lie. That is basically a function which is telling us if somebody was driving right behind us on our quarter panel in the blind spot that you can't see, that will light up over there. And what happens when that lights up, then it's basically telling you someone is sitting on your quarter panel you can't see. If you steer towards them, it starts flashing as well. So it's actually a really cool function. After that then, headlight washers over here, automated brake system. So basically you're driving forward and under 32 kilometers an hour, that car in front slows down. You don't do any reactions using any of your pedals. The car will automatically hit the brakes to reduce the impact at which you are going to hit that car in front. Cruise control. You can set your cruise control in through here. So the cool thing about it is you set your cruise, that's fine. You can also set, if you watch that, how far behind the car in front do I want to stay. And I can also have a lane keep assist, which means if I'm driving along and I set it, it will look for the white lines in the road either side, and then it'll manipulate the steering to keep you straight. I can't do it, unfortunately, at the moment. I do need to get a GoPro that allows, like, I have a little stick here that we can use for acceleration and stuff, but the GoPro is much better because I can hold it up there. After that then, in through here, after that you will have a speed limiter, which also is intelligent. So normal speed limiter, right? And then there's one that's also going to work off things like road signs. So see the way it's got a small little change in through there? Because the car naturally actually over here will tell you, if you pass by a speed zone in here, it's telling you the current speed zone that you're in, which is dead handy. Okay, in fairness, the navigation does that anyway, but this is intelligent over here for the speed limiter, and also then just for your normal driving, if you're wondering what speed zone am I in, this will tell you the last normal sign that it's seen around Europe. Controls for radio, volume, all that kind of stuff. Bluetooth over here, voice activated, fine. So we press this button here, trip information in here, lots and lots of information. So the first one is number 1, fuel. How much fuel have I got left? I can select that. Number 2, none in this case. How long the car's been running and average speed. The turbine one, which we saw in the demo along here. The next one over here, information about nav. So if I'm going in there, it'll tell me whatever next turn-offs I need to take and when I need to take them. Nothing's going on because I haven't selected nav. Speed sign just moves it from there down to there, but I think it's handier up here. Why would you have it, you know? Well, okay, everyone's different. Oops. Next one then is speed alarms, any safety belts not being worn, maintenance information, audio information, Bluetooth information, to have nothing there, general information overall. We know that there's a problem here at the moment because the car is low on fuel. So on this 1.5, let's face it, that is going to be the most fun. Headlights are automated, which means they are dip and full. Like, look at that, it's daytime, and even at that, it's actually leaving an impression on the wall. So lights off, dip lights on, full lights there. Honestly, brilliant lights. Okay, automated in the way that they pick it up from a little sensor up here at night time, but also then when it meets a car, it dips, and when it goes back into a country area, it'll go back into full by itself when it's unlit. Wipers are automated, so they will turn on and off themselves. After that then, down through here, little bit awkward, right? Okay, everything's been positive so far in the car. That down there, ugh. Okay, so down here, HDMI if we want to play video up through there, and we also then get USB in through here, and there's also another USB in through there, and there's also a 12 volt outlet a little bit further more on the passenger side over there. So little tunnel, it's lit up, it's grand, just I wish it was a little bit easier to get at. Down through here then you have wireless charging. How cool is that? I have a really crap phone, unfortunately, so I must really do something about that pretty soon. But if you had one of these nice new phones, even with a phone cover actually, you can drop your phone in there and happy days, it'll start to charge, which is really damn cool. Heating for seats in the front, heating for passenger. Right down here, parking brake on off like a normal car. Lift your handbrake, lift your button. Disengage your handbrake, push the button. Couldn't be simpler. But the cool thing is, once you put on your safety belt, you can drive away. Over here, auto stop start if you don't want to have the car going into a stop function at traffic lights, but why would you not? Because it's going to save you fuel. Adaptive dampers. So over here, I press this button, the suspension in the 4 corners of the car all the way around stiffens up, and you are going to have a much stiffer suspension to increase grip. Economy function basically reduces how aggressive the throttle response is, how aggressive the cruise control is, and how aggressive the air conditioner is down through there. Fine. In through here you have climate. So I got my side. Oops, let's turn it on. Okay, I got my side. No, I don't. That's my passenger. Get down. Passenger, driver, speed up or slow down, which is touch. There's a protector on that at the moment, just in case you're wondering what those lines are. A little protector needs to peel off, but like this is going to be someone's brand new car, so I don't want to do that yet. Where do you want the air to blow? Air conditioning on or off? Actually really straightforward. Front or rear windscreen demisters. And then if we go into home over here, we get, okay, back in here. So you get Garmin navigation, which can be updated for free annually. General audio, so where do you want your music to come from, and source and volume up and down and all that kind of stuff. So in through here, to be fair, much easier to use than the last version, so very simple, straightforward where you want music to come from. Grand. After that then, phone information for Bluetooth, trip information, general settings, smartphone connection, which is basically going to be Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, and then over here AHA if you want to listen to internet radio stations, and this is an Android kind of setup overall, so very, very cool. In terms of safety on the car, we've already seen the car has a lane keep assist, it has a lane departure warning, it has the blind spot indicator over here, it has a cross monitor traffic, it has the camera, it has front and rear park sensors, it has driver passenger airbag, it has curtain airbags all the way down the side, all those seats have slide impact protection, the doors on the side have steel impact protection bars, the wheels at the front, well actually all the way around, there's traction control on all the wheels, then you will have anti-lock brakes with emergency brake distribution, emergency brake assist, a gazillion safety features on the car overall that I'm quite happy to demonstrate to you if you come to the garage. If you managed to watch the video so far, fair play to you. I really appreciate your time because I know some of this is mega boring, but I hope this is useful for some people that might be actually going, I am going to buy one of those cars, or I am now thinking about buying one of those cars. Like, in fairness, that is such a cool looking car. I know I keep saying that, I'm genuinely enthusiastic, I love selling things that I really, really believe in, and this is definitely one of those cars where I'm going, at the price point you're paying for this car, you're getting a bit of a wolf in sheep's clothing, where it's quick, noisy Land Rover Defender, where it's actually fast. It is reserved though. You can be a grown-up and drive one of these cars and you've got a little bit of power, well not a little bit, you've got lots of power when you want to be a bit of a hooligan, and when you want to pull up somewhere classy, you've got a nice looking car, and when you want to bring your family somewhere, you have a safe car, and if you want to run a car efficiently, you have a car that's achieving excellent fuel efficiency and it's low on tax. So warranty 3 years, roadside assisted 3 years, they're mega reliable to be fair. We've had no problems with them at all so far, and we can do excellent trade-in values, and we also offer extremely competitive finance. Thank you for taking time to watch this video. If you got to the end of it and it's helpful, I'm really happy. Sorry, I know I should really try and make them more interesting, but just the editing, just don't have the time, because we are full-time sales after all. But if there's something that I've missed or something that you'd like to know about the car, just give me a shout. I'll be quite happy to do a different video that's probably more comprehensive or covers whatever it is that I've missed out on. If you're looking for one of these and you're anywhere in Ireland, please do give me a shout. We'd like your business. 086 843 1945. That's if you want information on things like trade-ins, finance, or any just general information overall. So I hope this car is of interest to you. Thank you for taking time to watch, and hopefully we'll chat to you soon.